walking up and down on one foot?
Another joke? Good for you, Winifred.
Stop feeling sorry for yourself.
The reason I can't be your son is because I've never been a son. Oh, I had parents, wonderful parents. So wonderful that at the age of 6, they told me I'd been a mistake and would I please not get in their way. They wanted to have fun. They wanted to laugh. That's what they did best. They laughed at anything, especially things they didn't understand, like Winifred does.
They were probably very cruel. Am I?
If I say yes, you'll think I'm feeling sorry for myself. If I say no, I won't be telling the truth.
I feel very kindly about most things, but there's something humiliating about letting yourself go. So it doesn't always come out that way. I think you can play my son, Tony.
All right, I will.
And Laura will play your sweetheart. You've just become engaged, and you brought her home to meet your mother.
Well, what will you play, Ernest?
Me? Well, I'm a friend of the family. Handsome, dashing, wealthy, wise, influential. The backbone of the play. The one who will resolve the conflict in the end.
Conflict? Does it have to be conflict?
Well, of course. Who ever play without conflict?
Well, what is it? Am I in it?
Yes. You see, Winifred doesn't like you because you're stealing her son. And she's a fighter. She's determined to break up the engagement. But it just so happens that you're a fighter too. Neither of you will give in. Conflict.
And how do you propose to resolve that?
Well, you're only jealous of Laura because you're lonely and you have no one but Tony to love. So I'll marry you and let him settle everything.
Won't Tony's father object?
He's dead.
That's the part I want to play.
And Tony and I get married?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so glad it has a happy ending. That's perfect, Ernest. I don't know how you thought it up. Say the first line.
Okay, give me a minute. All right. My boy, this is a very serious step you're about to take. Marriage is the most important part in a man's life. In a woman's, too. Be sure, my children, be terribly sure that you both love each other. Enough.
Of course she loves my son. Women have always loved my son. At the age of 3, his governess slit her throat in unrequited love.
Oh, I do love him. I do. Just the sight of him, the sound of his voice, the touch of his hand, the way his eyes creep up the corner when he smiles.
How sticky can you get?
Wasn't that line all right? It's a sentimental comedy.
It's a farce.
You're both wrong. It's a drama.
What difference does it make? The important thing is we don't mean what we're saying.
You don't like it.
It's not a question of liking.
Now listen, Tony, I've been at the theater a great deal longer than you have, and I'm tired of you telling me how to do things.
But it's pointless if we don't know what we're doing, isn't it?
You're right, Winifred rocks. Big ones.
Please, let's keep going. It spoils it if we stop after every line.
Come here, son. Here. Sit down. For God's sake, give me your hand.
Sorry, Mother.
Now tell me all about it. How'd you meet?
We met.
Where, my boy? That's the important thing. I always felt it important when one falls in love. Now in my case...
Ernest!
What's the matter? I was just about to get in a nice bit of character exposition.
It's not your scene. Now tell me, how'd you meet?
We met. On a bus.
We were sitting next to each other.
In the same seat.
I'd lost my purse.
She didn't have any money.
He paid my fare.
It was only 10 cents.
The conductor was about to throw me off. It was really awfully funny.
I almost died laughing.
Ernest, say something.
Oh, what's the use? The audience will be walking out in about a minute.
I wish we could.
We've got to go on.
Are you happy?
I don't know.
Darling!
You don't know? You're supposed to be happy in this scene. Happy, self-assured. You're supposed to be a fighter.
My God, Ernest, we can't all be fighters.
Once, I was walking down a crowded street. My mother and father arm in arm in front of me. I was small. Suddenly, I stopped walking. I stood there and I watched the people fill in the gap between us. Finally, I couldn't see them at all. I was all alone. I was happy then. But that's the only time.
Well, you should have.
Go ahead. Say something brilliant smart.
I was going to. Tony, I want to be kind.
Tony, you were acting. That really happened.
No.
But don't you see you're supposed to be happy in this scene?
Never mind, Laura. He's hopeless.
There's plenty of time, Ernest.
Is there? The stage manager isn't going to put up with this forever. We've been out here a lifetime already.
You're always so impatient.
Well, it'd be so simple if he'd only act.
He hasn't had as much experience as you've had.
Well, then why does he have to be the center of attention all the time? Why doesn't he let me take the stage for a while?
Ernest, you always blunder in and take charge of everything. Now you cast him in the part. Give him a chance.
How much of a chance does he need?
He's doing very well. He's giving a fine performance. Did you hear me, Tony? I was defending you.
Yes. Even though I wasn't doing very well.
I've never defended anyone in my life.
You thought it was humiliating to let yourself go.
He said we should improvise. We're not improvising. We're being ourselves.
Should we go on with the play?
If you want to.
Where were we?
You're asking...
I remember. Are you happy?
Nothing is any clearer. Lights and colors are still diffused and whirling like a pinwheel. The world is inside out as it's always been. Something's changed. It's easier.
What has happened?
And kind.
What if you don't think of us, you might at least think of the audience.
Tony, you're supposed to be in love with me!
But I'm not, and I won't pretend to be.
But that's all you can do. That's all any of us can do. Pretend. That's all there is.
Yes, that's all there is.